Hello Taurus, my name is Missy and I am here to pull some AstroCharms for the month of October. So we're going to do things a little different this month. Normally when I do the AstroCharm readings, it's just a general reading. I don't really have a specific topic that I'm asking about. But October, if you follow astrology at all, you'll know that, October has quite a bit going on. And so I'm filming this on the 1st, which means that tomorrow we have Mercury stationing direct. On the 8th, Pluto is going to station direct. And then on the 22nd, 23rd, Saturn will station direct. Then we have a lunar eclipse on the 25th. So that's quite a bit, right? And a lot of that energy has to do with like change, transformation, things ending. So what I wanted to look at is, how is this going to affect you personally over the month of October? And the reason for that is because we're going to kind of look at the bigger picture of Pluto moving into Aquarius in March of 2023. But we're not actually asking questions about that yet. What we're asking about is, what is it that you need to close out now? What is it that you need to end? What are the cycles that you need to finish now in order to begin the new cycles that Pluto moving into Aquarius will bring for you, or will affect for you? Again, that's going to have to do with which house. For Taurus specifically, we are going to have Mercury stationing direct in the 5th house. Pluto will station direct in the 9th house, and Saturn will station direct in the 10th house. Now, excuse me, keep in mind that when I say that, I'm, speaking in terms, like if you're Taurus rising, if you, and I'm just going to talk as if if everybody already understands astrology. I'm assuming if you're watching my channel, you already know about astrology. So if you're Taurus rising, these readings will resonate for you more than if you're Taurus sun or moon. And that's because if you have Taurus rising, this is the position of your houses for a whole sign chart. You would have Taurus in the 1st house and so on around the wheel. That would mean that Mercury will station direct in your 5th house of Virgo. You will have Pluto stationing direct in your 9th house of Capricorn, and Saturn stationing direct in your 10th house of Aquarius. Now, why is that important? Or what will the preview be this month, right? So it could be many different things. Let's look at the 5th house first. This is the area that deals with children, romance, creative pursuits, things that you like to do for fun. Think about all Leo issues, right? Entertainment. Are you an artist or anything like that, right? So having Mercury station direct here, maybe you are expressing yourself more. There are people who are paying attention, or they're more aware of you because you've been expressing yourself or speaking up more. Or maybe you learn something about one of your children, right? When Mercury stations direct, or if it's not learning something about one of your children, maybe you hear from an old flame or something to that effect, right? And then Pluto stations direct next week in your 9th house, and whatever it is that either you've learned, or maybe this person has come back to talk to you, or maybe you've been expressing yourself more, now all of a sudden it's changing minds, changing opinions, right? Because that's what Pluto does. Pluto transforms. He puts an end to one thing so that there can be a new thing that grows in its place. Death and rebirth. So let's say you hear some news about one of your children, and it really puts you in your head to where now, you've got to completely change the way that you viewed, like your higher values and things, the way that you viewed the way that life should be, or what are the good things in life. And then because of that, now in the 10th house, then with Saturn stationing direct, now you're sharing that wisdom with others, right? And it's changing their opinion of you as well, which is kind of the interplay between Pluto and Saturn. But that's just an example. Not all Taurus are going to have those situations happen. But that was just an example. Again, like I say, maybe you're expressing yourself more, and the people that you're expressing yourself to, it's changing their opinion of you. Maybe they thought you were one way, and now they're really seeing you in a new light, right? But because of that, maybe there's more work attached to it as well because of Saturn in the 10th house. Saturn is actually very much at home in the 10th house and works well with Capricorn, or works well with Pluto in Capricorn, because Saturn rules Capricorn. So, that's the reason those two planets would be playing off each other. But that means that you would then need to, there's going to be some cycles that you'll need to close out that are going to be based on whatever this news or information is that you hear of that has to do with these fifth house issues. Again, fifth house issues being children, romance, creativity, and how you have fun. What is it that you enjoy, that's like sets your soul or your spirit on fire, right? So let's go ahead and see, get a little look at what is October, what is changing for you in October. This one here. Family, you're the second group, and to be fair, I've only done 2 readings so far. So this has to do with family, or maybe your loyalty. Again, this can be around your children, maybe your loyalty to children, maybe the loyalty of the children that your children have towards you. But I think there's something, again, with this interesting. So when I got this deck, I just happened to go to the shop. A friend of mine invited me to go shopping one day. And the shop that we went to, I saw this like deck sitting off to the side, and I just there wasn't really anything that really called me to it. I just kind of felt like I really needed to take it home. I knew that it would be a mediumship type deck, and I knew there would be certain cards. I don't know how, I just knew, I had a feeling that based on what it was, that there would be certain cards that would have certain messages. This particular card here, has to do, and there are what I'm calling 4 men and 4 women cards in here, and then 1 spirit card and 1 to denote an ending. This would be the card that denotes like the end of the reading or the end of the message, if you're getting a message that's coming through that's a mediumship message. It's just the way that I knew as soon as I picked up the deck that this was how I needed to read these cards. So to see this particular card come up here, when I've already known prior to the reading that this is going to denote a male energy, it's going to denote a male energy who's definitely passed on, who has a message for you. So this is going to be either a father, grandfather, but I got to be honest. I have to be very honest here. This doesn't actually feel like, if this is someone who was a father figure, they weren't much older than you. Like maybe they became a father at a young age or something. This feels like younger male energy that's passed on, but they're trying to help you with confidence, help you to build confidence in some way. In your family. So I didn't mean for these to be mediumship readings, but again, when I picked up this deck, I knew that this was going to be a possible message that came through with these cards, and so this is saying that this message here that's coming through apparently for October is coming from a passed on loved one, male energy, possibly your age or not much older. Like if this is a father figure, or maybe a brother that was just slightly older than you. They're wanting to help you build your confidence around family issues. And we have the song Infinity by James Young. And it's saying, I love you for infinity, over and over and over. So again, take that however it resonates for your situation. I'm going to go ahead and pull some charms now. Just remember, whatever happens when it comes to family issues, have courage, have strength, have confidence. You do have this support of this loved one. Okay. Okay, very interesting right in the center. Okay. All right, so a couple of the charms were upside down, which I typically take to mean that it's something that you're not paying attention to, but you need to pay attention to. And the three that were the most important that happened with were the star, the dress, and the octopus. So the dress, I always see that as a message saying that you really need to pay attention to your appearance. So maybe you have not been paying attention to your appearance when you go out, but it's very important for you to do that for whatever reason. They just really, or actually this is your, I'm going to leave this out here. This is your ancestor who is, or your passed on loved one who is saying, pay attention. He's saying, I really want you to pay attention to your appearance. We have the octopus here. Now the octopus I always see as like suffocation energy or dangerous energy, because, you know, octopus, they can be cute, they can be, you know, funny to watch, but the way that they operate is that they want to drag you down into the depths with them, right? So there's someone around you that wants to drag you down with them. And I'm getting the sense that it's because they're angry at you for some reason. They're angry about something. Maybe it's not at you in particular, but they're angry about something, and they want to take you down, drag you down, hold you down, something, but not in a good way. Because what the octopus does is, you know, he takes you all the way down into the deep, all the way down into the depths, so that he can investigate you at his leisure, but you end up suffocating and drowning and dying, right? Or if it's a ship, it destroys the ship, not just from the pressure of the water, which breaks the ship apart, but there's lack of oxygen then. You know, so it's destruction that the octopus brings. And there's clinginess as well, something that hangs on and won't let go as well, something very clingy. So there's this clinging energy that you're not paying attention to. We have the song Supermodel by, I can never pronounce this, Måneskin, something. So with the starfish, this is more water energy. The octopus and the starfish are both water energy. But the starfish talks about like beauty, standing out. Maybe this is the reason that someone wants to take you down or pull you down or drag you down with them. And it's a clinging energy again. But it's because like maybe you don't see, like maybe you stand out and you're not really paying attention to it or something. Or you don't see that this is the reason why this person or this thing or whatever this is stuck. It's like, because you know the tentacles of the octopus, it's a sucker it suction cups to you, it sticks to you. And they're very strong as well. The muscles on their tentacles are very, very strong. So, you know, very powerful as well. So maybe it's saying have faith. Like maybe this is something where you feel as if someone has more strength than you do, or something about strength. Someone is stronger, bigger, whatever. Something about that. Interesting. So that's the focus, because that's what's happening in the central circle. We don't really have anything in the first house, but in your second and third houses, we do have the circus. So there's some sort of chaos coming in around, like if you have to talk to someone about money, maybe there's some issue where, and you're just now entering the circus, so there's some stress around that, conversations around money. Then we have the moon in the fourth house, and so this was upside down just now too before I picked it up. I typically like to call this particular moon my happy moon, even though it's a crescent. If you look at it, it looks like there's little, what I like to call a floral pattern inside of that moon, right? And to me that always makes me kind of feel happy, like springtime, right? So to have it upside down in the fourth house, I think you're not really, maybe you're not noticing the good things, all of the little things that you have around you that keep you happy. The little comforts maybe is what it, maybe the tiny little comforts that keep you happy, especially because we have the seahorse here. So if you have kids, especially if your children, you either have a Virgo or a Gemini child, and the father is still there helping out, like, because we have the seahorse energy here in the fifth house, but it, you know, that could be one of the things, like maybe there's something about a father figure providing help or small comforts that maybe you're not really paying attention to in some way. Also, there's a lot of Mercury or energy coming through here in the fifth house. And remember, we said that this is where Mercury will be stationing direct. So Mercury rules your fifth house anyway, because this is the house of Virgo. So Mercury is now in his domicile, right? And then you've got Gemini coming through. So maybe you need to have a conversation with a Gemini. Or maybe you need to have a conversation with your father or the father of your children because of the seahorse. It's an emotional conversation. Or maybe it's a conversation about kids. And then it's interesting to me that you have the spoon in the sixth house, because I always see the spoon, especially when it falls upright like that, I see it as the need to take your medicine. And so the sixth house has to do with healing or your health. So there's something, you need to heal something. Maybe it has to do with this father issue here. Or your children. You don't have anything in the seventh house, but you do in the eighth and ninth houses. So what's interesting about this is that this is the house of inheritance. So we're coming back to the family issue. Remember, that's your first card that came out here with the wolf. And you could have Cancer in your chart as well because of the wolf coming through, the sign of Cancer. Whether that's moon or rising, but to have the star come out over both the eighth and ninth houses. So because this is the house of inheritance, meaning like your ancestors, your ancestral line. So this is like the things that you've inherited from your family, probably the beliefs and traditions that you've inherited from your family, because it's connected to the ninth house. But the star is a healing symbol. It can bring in like satisfaction, wish fulfillment as well, but I feel like it's talking about healing, especially because we have this piece of clear quartz here. We have the song, hold on. Oh, come on. When You're Gone, Shawn Mendes. So, you know, maybe you need to heal over a loss, which is, you know, this is also an eighth house issue. It's the house of death and loss. So maybe there's healing that needs to happen over a loss in a family. Could be attached to this here. It's interesting that the octopus, as I'm looking at it, his head is sitting in the 10th house. So there's something about maybe there's somebody that you work with that has the initial C, or person, place, or thing. Maybe you work at a company that has the initial C or the letter C in their name, right? Or the type of work that you do starts with the letter C or whatever. And maybe that's the thing that's dragging you down or wants to pull you down with them. Wants to drag you down. Okay, and so the last thing that I want to say is that this little Bible here is actually its own little charm holder, as you can see. And so we have these little charms here, and these are the keys to faith. So whatever this issue is, have faith, pray about it, ask your angels to guide you, but know that they are always there protecting you, supporting you. Also be at peace. Don't worry about it. Once you pray about it, let it go. Be at peace. Have faith that your angels are there doing everything that are, and your ancestors, by the way. Not, not everyone believes in angels. So your ancestors, God, spirit, whatever your whatever your belief system is, you have to pray and then have faith that they've got you. So we're going to go ahead and leave that here. I hope that resonates. If it does not, please stick around. There may be another reading for you here on the channel that does. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, whatever you can to help me since I'm new here. Remember, I will come back to do the bullshit and the blessings and probably another AstroCharms for just a regular general reading for October, but for this one I wanted to look at specifically, how is Pluto or the planet stationing direct, what is the preview of Pluto moving or changing signs, what is a preview of how that was going to affect you. So I hope that helps, and thank you for watching.